Tactical Command, this is Sword. We are inbound on final approach. I say again, on final.
All right, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the State Police exhibit, specifically the Special Operations Response Team Rappelling Demonstration. I'd like to draw your attention to the middle roof and introduce today's host, Sergeant Eric Ozzy Osborne.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to day 8 of the Great New York State Fair. Thanks for coming out, folks. A special thanks to those of you that sat through that dog show for no other purpose than to secure prime seats for this, the best show at the fair, guaranteed not to give you fleas. Still got some seats available. We are SORT. SORT is the tactical team for the New York State Police. As such, we conduct all those operations you would expect a SWAT team to conduct. High-risk felony warrants, drug raids, barricaded subjects, hostage situations, dignitary protection. However, we also perform a few tasks you wouldn't necessarily associate with a SWAT team, such as search and rescue, to include high-angle rappelling and rope rescue, which is what we're going to demonstrate here today. So without further ado, let's bring the guys down and introduce them. Up on the left side of the tower, from the frozen tundra B Troop on that Canadian border, Trooper Brandon, the Norseman Strader. On the right side of the tower, he is our team softball ringer and is capable of sprinting at speeds up to 31.5 miles an hour. That's just a little faster than K9 Ada. Trooper Robert El Capitan Burke. Down here on the ropes, you've got North Central's team leader, Sergeant Cliff. No, I don't play basketball. Wood. In that top window, spinning our beats, fresh off his European tour where he played clubs from Milan to Minsk. He is available for birthdays, bar mitzvahs, and of course, bachelorette parties. Trooper Brian DJ DeRoche. And signing today's show, she has the hand speed of a cheetah and the quickness of a mongoose, dialed up on Mountain Dew. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Shannon! Up on the left side of the tower, you have the godfather of the rope show, direct from division headquarters, Sergeant Derek the Duke Serza. On the right side, you've got the Central Region's paramedic and my primary care physician, sporting his tactical Chuck Taylors. Very nice, Brando. Trooper Brandon Dr. McSteamy Madigan. Very nice. All right, guys, well, they're climbing back up the ladder, and all our guys can climb the ladder. I don't see what the K9 guys make a big deal out of it about. But as they climb their way up, I'm going to go over a little bit about what it takes to become a member of SWORD. First off, you have to be a trooper for at least 2 years. That in and of itself is quite the process. Then we periodically put out training announcements. If you feel you have what it takes, you can put in a memo, and your chain of command will or will not grant you that opportunity. If you do go, it's a 3-day tryout. If you pass that 3-day tryout, you go to a 2-week selection process we call phase 1. If you successfully complete that, you may or may not be invited to the 6-month school. We have an attrition rate over 80%. Out of that 6-month school, 3 weeks of it are dedicated to rope work. We do basic rappelling, we do raising and lowering systems, getting people out of precarious situations, and we also do helicopter operations, where we'll fast rope, do hoist work, and rappel from helicopters at heights about 4 times of this tower. Each guy is individually issued his harness. On the front of that harness, you're going to see what we call a figure 8. This is our descent device. We feed the rope through that. That top hand on the rope's just a guide hand, keeps us vertical. The one down by our hip, that's the money maker, that's our brake hand. As we bring it away from our hip, it allows the rope to freely flow through that device. That's when we let gravity do its job, and we refer to that as letting her eat. As we put it closer to the hip, it puts friction on the device, slowing and eventually stopping us. But telling you is one thing, showing you is something different. So if you look all the way up top, we've got Brandon and Rob who are going to come on down. All right, you saw them work their way down, feathered that brake to land gently on the roof. However, a couple things are going to happen throughout the course of this fair. Number one, the guys are going to want to entertain themselves a little bit more, which means heating it up and coming down a little bit quicker. Number two, these ropes are going to develop loops and twists. You're coming down with that hand a little wider open than you should, really letting her eat, and one of those loops hits your palm, it can pop out of your hand. You lose your brakes on the thruway, that's a bad day on the road, right? We lose our brakes up here, that's a bad day on the ropes. But that's why we got Cliff Wood over here. Sarge isn't trying to be rude or antisocial, showing his back. He's not trying to showcase his well-defined lats and traps. Whew. I gotta hit the infirmary and get my man a Band-Aid because he is cut. Man, one of these days that's gonna land. As our senior guy and ropes guru, he has the oh so important, yet not at all glamorous job of rope safety or belayment. If one of these guys coming down loses their brake hand, Cliff's gonna pull on that rope, putting friction on the device, slowing and hopefully stopping it. But again, telling you is one thing, showing you something different. To demonstrate, one of these guys is gonna help me out. They're gonna take a few steps back, they're gonna get a running start, and they're gonna throw themselves off of that roof with no hands on the rope. They're gonna come hurtling towards Earth at an incredible rate of speed, accelerating at 9.8 meters per second until at the very last moment, Sergeant Wood, if he is physically able and so inclined, will use his cat-like reflexes and raw power to engage that belay, stopping that trooper mere moments from certain death or at least a sprained ankle. Ladies and gentlemen, you paid for your whole seat. You're only gonna need the edge. This part's gonna be awesome. Who's going? Oh, guys, come on. You gotta determine this ahead of time. I built them all up. I know, it's day 8. We should know by now. All right, gentlemen, we're gonna handle this like adults, right? How do adults figure out their problems? Your odds aren't good. Ready? 1, 2, 3, shoot. Oh, Brandon, a rare victory. Outstanding for Brandon. Brandon gets to come down like a gentleman, so let's go ahead and hear from Rob for volunteering. Pretty nice. You're up there though now. All right, I forget the rules myself. I'm a bit fuzzy on them. But like I said, Rob's gonna take a few steps back. He's gonna get a running start. He's gonna jump off, and he's gonna hurtle towards terminal velocity or early retirement. We're gonna engage that belay and stop him at the last second. It's gonna be awesome. You ready, Rob? 3, 2. What are you doing, bud? No, I got a lot to pay attention to, but oh boy. Yeah, that's not Cliff. Afternoon, ladies. How are you doing? Good, good, good. What are your names? What? Yes, that's right. Ella and Addie. That's right. I knew that. All right, so did he tell you what to do? He just told you to hold on to the rope. Really, dude? That's it? All right, he gave you the basic, okay? I'm gonna give you guys the advanced course, okay? So when that guy jumps off of the roof, you're gonna pull on that rope, all right? On the first bounce, the second bounce, it doesn't really matter. At some point, just pull on the rope. I'm sure he's gonna be just fine. They look wicked strong anyway. I think it skips a generation. Yeah, yes, I know Dad. So often with a W. Hey Rob, what do you think?
Oh, there's a memo that came out about this.
There is a memo that came out, but these girls look locked in. They look fired up. They look ready to collect on their inheritance a little early.
He can back up Cliff. He's been getting in the gym. I can trust that.
All right. I tell you what. You ladies don't hold on to it. You're going to be the backup, okay? Hold right on to it. You're going to be the backup, and Sergeant Wood's going to do it, because Sergeant Wood's belay success rate is just okay. 60% of the time, it works every time. So with you two ladies and Cliff, I think we're going to be okay. What do you say, Rob?
Let's do it.
Folks, let's give him a little bit of encouragement, all right? Help me count them down, okay? 3, 2, 1. A little sneak preview of the next section. And now Cliff can hold him up there as long as he wants. He can control his descent.
Oh, come on.
We can make this almost as long as a dog show and keep him up there another 20 minutes.
Let me know.
Ladies, let your dad down. Let's hear it for the Burt girls, our belays. Save Dad's life. Beautiful. All right. You can see how it's easy to get twisted up or in a precarious situation up there, right? Gravity doesn't take an instant off. But if you get twisted up or spun up, as long as you keep your head, and most importantly, as long as you keep your brake hand, you're not going to come crashing to earth. So if you look all the way up top, we've got Derek and Brandon who are going to come down and demonstrate. All right, they both came down to that standard seated hip rappel that everybody else has been using, but now they're going to go ahead and transition their brake hand from the right to their left. This is going to allow our guys to go ahead and invert. So now, even though they're upside down, as long as they maintain that newfound brake hand, they're not going to smash face first in this beautifully manicured turf. This is what we call the Commando Crawl. It allows our guys to see where they're going before they present their feet or other body parts. But once they've gone far enough and seen all they feel they need to see, they can go ahead and revert, reassume that brake hand, and come on down. Ladies and gentlemen, the invert. Folks are going to notice a common reoccurring theme out here, and that's safety. We're dealing with heights. We're dealing with extreme angles. We're dealing with sharp and hard edges. It's inherently dangerous. So, if somebody is rappelling or rock climbing or perhaps even just hiking, they could end up in a position where they get injured or stranded, someplace where they can go neither up nor down. We have to have a means to go ahead and rescue them. Ladders aren't necessarily going to be high enough to reach, and helicopters can be counterproductive. Those rotors don't do our ropes any favors, if you know what I'm saying. So if you look all the way up top, we've got Brandon who's ready to come down and start the demonstration. All right, say Brandon's working his way down some sheer cliff in the Adirondacks, or perhaps Ithaca, because it is gorgeous. He gets to the spot he wants to be for a minute. He's going to take that rope and wrap it around his 8. Not once, not twice, but thrice. This is called the tie-off. Once he's tied off, he can go hands-free. He can invert. He can literally and figuratively hang out. He can get a cell phone out, snap a selfie, post it to his MySpace page. Anybody else still run a MySpace? I got you. Last 2 guys on it. All right, but say he's hanging out there and some rocks kick loose and hit him in the head. At this point, I'm gonna need some kids to step forward. I'm gonna need a little bit of hands. Yeah, come right on up, right over that rope that's there for your safety. Ignore it, take a step right over. Don't be bashful. Anybody else? Anybody else? Anyone? Anyone? I believe we got like 5 water balloons in there, so let's get our hands right in that bucket. Get yourself a water balloon, close with, and destroy it. So I don't think we got enough water balloons for everybody, but everyone's invited up, and get them. Get them. Yeet it up there. Zap! But, oh, those were nice. Oh, so close. And then another one. Oh, that was a good one. All right, guys. And the coup de grace. Almost got me. All right, folks, let's hear it for our rocks. Nice job, guys. I'd say next year we'll go with lawn darts, but after what you just did with the bucket, I don't feel safe, Cliff. No. All right, so Brandon's been knocked unconscious, but we can't leave him up there. We got a lot of time and money invested in him. As a matter of fact, we've grown a little bit attached to him. So if you look all the way up top, we've got Rob. Rob's going to work his way down his line. He's going to latch hands onto Brandon and hopefully lower them both to safety. Come on down, Rob.
Can't keep my hands to myself.
Oh, all right. We choose all our own music out here. This is a bold choice for Rob. Obviously comfortable in his own skin. You didn't pick this song? Are you certain? Maybe we chose it for you. It suits the mood, doesn't it? What do you want then? All right, DJ DeRoshi, our tactical diva won't come down to this. He needs something with a little more oomph, a little more manly, he says. You got some? I think DJ's got you. Rob is very receptive to this. He loves the Weather Girls. He has all their albums. As Rob uncomfortably shimmies over there, you're going to see he's got a different piece of gear hooked to the front of his harness. He's not running an 8 anymore. He's running what's called a break bar rack. That's going to allow him to take additional weight onto his system. In this case, that additional weight is going to be Brandon. Rob's going to want to stop slightly above Brandon and perform a tie-off, lest he fall to the ground and become another casualty in need of rescue. Once he's tied off, he reaches for that blue strap. It's called a pick-off strap, and he uses a partial inversion and his impressive wingspan to hook into Brandon's harness. Once he's hooked in, Rob will use those bulging biceps he somehow shoehorns into an extra medium t-shirt to pull Brandon up. You can see how Brandon instinctively reaches for Rob's hips and legs. We're a very close-knit team. At this point, we ask no photos be taken. Thank you. Off-putting. You can see that Brandon's line's going slack. His weight has been removed from it. Now Rob is securing his hardware and freeing Brandon completely from his line. All of these steps have to be performed in the proper sequence. If not, it would be bad for Rob, but it would be much worse for Brandon. Now he'll undo his tie-off and hopefully lower him and Brandon safely to the ground. It looks like he nailed it. Ladies and gentlemen, the pick-off. Folks, we've talked about basic rappelling. We've showed you some safety precautions we have in place. We've showed you a very small percentage of the rescue work that we are capable of. However, there is also a tactical application to this work we're demonstrating here today. Say, for example, if there were a bad guy creeping around these fairgrounds, he snatches up a kid, runs up into that building and barricades the door shut. Horrible choice of location on his part, but I digress. So he's got that door barricaded shut and he feels really confident that we're not going to be able to get in there. Unfortunately for that bad guy, the Special Operations Response Team doesn't need to come in through the door. We can come in through the window. But before we do, we count on all our partners first. The men and women that you see in the gray uniform and the Stetson, the road troopers, they are the first ones at the scene, oftentimes by themselves, trying to get people to safety and containing the incident. Then they call supervisors, investigators, negotiators, and our other friends in Special Operations, even our friendly rivals, the K9 guys. Them and us both have drone capabilities where we can look into windows without exposing ourselves. They are a game changer for sure, but when it comes to technology, we trust but verify. There is no substitution for the human eye. So if you look all the way up top, we've got Derek, who's ready to run the recon. All right, Derek's careful to land gently on that roof so as not to notify anybody of his presence. He works into a commando crawl and starts checking windows. Uh-oh. There appears to be a guard dog. I hope the homeowner, oh my goodness. That is not our target, Derek. They are aggressive. I'm not sure what's going on there. Get out of there, D. Swipe left, brother. You've seen things he can't unsee. We have counselors available to us. He's rolling down, and now he's confirming that the suspect and the hostage are down in that lower window. He's got eyes on and has confirmed what we've already known through the drone. Now he reaches up to the back of his harness. He's grabbing that canister, which is a noise flash diversion device commonly referred to as a flashbang. That's going to emit a bright light and loud noise that distracts and disorients the suspect long enough for us to seize the initiative. It looks like Derek's ready to deploy the bang, and it looks like we're ready for Brandon to effect the rescue. Brando's in the window. There appears to be a huge bad guy. There's a tussle of some sort. Forearm shivers, an elbow, a double club fist. What is that? This is getting violent. And now, oh no! Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize you had to witness that clear violation of New York State Police policy and procedures. Brandon, yeah. Our regulations do not allow you to throw a pedophile out of a second-story window. No. The manual clearly states it must be the third floor or higher. Second floor is not getting it done. You know what I'm saying? Brando, how's the kid doing though? Remember the kid? That's why you swung in there? He's okay. Theodore, it's a big save for Theodore. Nice job. Another save for Brandon, folks. Let's let him hear it. Folks, hopefully you can tell that we have a good time out here. We love working on this tower, interacting with you good people. It represents a real nice break for us. But at the end of the day, it is a serious business we're involved in. If you look along that roof line, we have 4 sets of numbers. Those are the shield numbers for Michael Strank, Ross Riley, David Brinkerhoff, and Joseph Longobardo. Those 4 men were operators on our team who were killed in the line of duty. They gave the ultimate sacrifice for the people of the state of New York, and we think it's those guys that deserve a real round of applause this afternoon. You guys have been great, a small but very spirited crowd. We really appreciate you coming out, sticking with us in those hot bleachers. Feel free to come forward after the show. We'll post for pictures, tasteful of course. We got stickers for the kids who can answer questions. Hit up the PBA and the Trooper Foundation for all your state police swag. And the museum and the interactive displays are both very interesting and air-conditioned. Again, thanks for coming out, guys, and enjoy the rest of your day at the great New York State Fair.